Hey guys, it's Superstar0717 here with my updated Karakuri deck. I went to locals and I managed to pick up a couple cards that I really wanted to try out in this deck. And I have tested them on Dueling Network and they worked out pretty well beforehand. And so I picked them up and I'm going to show you guys the newest version of the deck. I think the problem I had with the last deck was that it was too defensive. And I did get a couple comments and messages about that. And so this deck addresses some of those issues. So let me start showing you guys the deck. So first we have the 3 Komachi, pretty staple. I mean, it's like one of the best cards in the deck. Gets your swarms going, gets your synchros out. If you can set it as a good first turn stat, works really well. So 3 Komachis, pretty staple in the deck. Next we have 3 soldiers. This guy's like their Emmer's Blade. It's just freaking ridiculous how awesome it is. I used to run Anatomy. I changed that, but if you do choose to run Anatomy, it's good to summon in attack mode, activate Anatomy. When they swing into it, it'll change to defense, get destroyed. You bring out your strategist in attack mode, change him to defense, or defense attack, whatever one, and then you'll have 2 counters on that. So it's pretty good if you're on Anatomy. It's also just pretty good in general. You can search out pretty much whatever you need. So the biggest change of the deck is that I'm running 3 Gen X Neutrons. This is an older card from the Shining Darkness, and it never really got much play. So if you don't know what it does, it's level 4 light 1800 machine type monster. When you summon it, at the end of that turn that it was normal summoned, only normal summoned, you can add any machine type tuner from your deck to your hand. So you're running 5 machine type tuners. So that's just a really good effect. I mean, I might even throw in an Unknown Synchron and take out something else, just because it lets you add that, you can add that to your hand as well, just to make it, a couple more targets. And it also, I haven't tested it yet, but I mean, I could even put in, Gen X Ally Birdman, but that still needs to be tested. But right now, it's pretty good. So 3 of those. They're also 1800 beaters, and the deck really lacks strong beaters without having a Synchro Summon. So up next, 2 merchants. It's the Stratos of the deck. This one, as soon as you summon it, you get to search any Karakuri card. I'm running 3 and 2 because, well, this card is pretty good, that it gives you the search immediately. It has terrible defense, or excuse me, it has terrible attack and, lackluster defense. In late game, when you can't search out your cash to change it to defense, it kind of sucks. So I run 3 Neutrons and 2 merchants, just to search my stuff for whatever I need. Okay, so up next we have 2 strategists. I might bump strategists up to 3 whenever Exceeds come out, but right now 2 is working really well. I don't draw it too often, and there's always one in the deck for when I bring out my Burrito. So 2 is pretty good right now. Up next we have 2 Effect Veiler. I mean, this card is just amazing. Like, if you're not maining Veiler, then you're going to have a really hard time against pretty much every matchup. Your Gravekeepers, your Hero matchup, your Samurai matchup. This just really, especially against, what is it called? Fish OTK. You really need these main decked. Just for any matchup you play, especially game 1, it really gives you that advantage when you don't know what you're playing. In game 2 and 3, it's just, just as good. Next, 2 Quick. I tried it at 3, like I said in the last video, and after 10 or so duels on Dueling Network, I realized that really, when you have it at 3, you're going to draw it. Usually, first 2 or 3 draws, at least you'll have 1 in your hand, and by then, you can't really use this effect to its full potential, because there's no targets in your grave. So I put it back at 2, and it's been working pretty well. I'd much rather have a starting hand of a Soldier than a Quick, because Soldier can, search the Quick, it can also search your other tuners. Whereas Quick just gets them from the grave, and early game that's not that great. Up next you got your 2 Cyber Dragons, staple, level 5 machine, baits out, warnings, bottomlesses and stuff like that. That's pretty good. Next you have your 3 Cash. It's like the road of the deck. You need a Karakuri on the field though, which is my biggest, complaint about this card, but I mean, the deck is pretty broken and has a lot of good searchers, so, I mean, I guess you take what you can get. Up next we have 2 Instant Fusions. They special summon your Cyber Source from your grave, or from your extra deck. You sync with it for level 8s. Well, that's pretty good. Puts in a good amount of work in the deck. Up next, you have your 2 MSTs. Pretty staple. I still like these over Noblemens of Extermination, so they put in a lot of work. Up next, I'm testing this out, and it's actually testing really well. It's 2 potted dualities. I know a lot of people complain about that, not necessarily because of the price, but because the deck really does focus on special summoning. But when you can pot a duality into a Gen X Neutron, or pot a duality into your Decree, it's just amazing, because you can summon it, get the plus off of that, and then next turn if you have a cash in your hand, you can start, going off. And so with the reprint and everything, they just become even more accessible to everybody. And at 2, it's just amazing. 1 is pretty good, but I really like 2 to really help you get that consistent good hand. And 3 is too many. And also, I mean, once you already get your setup going, if you don't need it, it's land always fodder. So that's pretty good. On the monster lineup, you'll notice I took out Mechlord Army of Grano. He was really good. He actually helped me win a couple games. But I mean, right now I really need to start, like, if I open up without a tuner or cash, I'm really screwed. And, he did not let me search that. And Gen X Neutron lets me search the tuner, and then, hopefully I'll add, I'll draw into a cash, or I'll duality into a cash. So it's pretty good. Some staple cards: Reborn, Mind Control, Avarice, and Trunade, and Dark Hole. I need a hollow super rare Trunade, so if you guys have one, let me know. I value it at like $10 or $11, so check my trade binder below, or the link to that will be below. These are just staples. You're running so many tuners that Mind Control is really good. And you'll also notice I just took out the Pashuls, once again trying to be a little bit more offensive with the deck. I mean, after all, it is an OTK deck, so gotta fit with the title. And then a limiter in a book, to go for game and just stop their plays is pretty good. I'm looking for a dual terminal Book of Moon, so if you guys got this, let me know. And now the traps, pretty small trap lineup. 3 Royal Decree, pretty much shuts down everything. My favorite trap in the game right now. Just really good against samurais, really good against agent fairies, especially when you're going first. You set it, and they're pretty screwed. And it's just a really good card. So I run 3 of them. I really like them over Trapstone, just because you can consistently pull out your combos whenever you want, and not have to worry about. The only really thing you have to worry about is Book of Moon. Then Torrential, Xingzang-Hu, and Oppression. Oppression is just amazing. I didn't like it at first, but after a couple duels, playtesting, it's just really good defense, and then you can just turn it off with your Decree whenever you want. You got your Torrential, stop their big plays, and your Xingzang-Hu to service the 4th Decree. So this is my build. If you have any questions or comments, just let me know. You can PM me. I am taking duels on Dueling Network, so all my information for that will be below. And also, if you see any of the cards in this video that I don't have, such as the Dual Terminal Book of Moon and the Super Trunade, hit me up with a message so we can work out a trade. Thanks, guys.